Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today I'm going to bring you a guide about one of the events which we are playing once every 3 months. You guessed it, that is the Glorious Battle. It has been requested that I make a guide about it and I'm gonna do just that. I'm gonna show you how the event works, what are the positions in the event that you can take, how you fight, and what rewards do you get. You can find the event in the cross server page right here. And yes, this is the Glorious Battle page, so you just need to go to Battlefield. Before that, how the event works. Basically, it is an event coming every 3 months and it lasts for 2 weeks, 14 days. And you're going to fight in a battlefield. This is the battlefield. It's quite big, as you can see. And you have a lot of factions in different colors that are going to fight. A total of 8 different factions. They are chosen randomly based on alliances and their scores. And you're going to be in a team with other alliances, and basically the top 4 people in terms of rank from each alliance are going to be the management of each faction. So the management can actually call the shots and decide what to do in the event. So how basically you're going to be participating. When you open the event, you are going to see that first of all there is a world progression. So little by little all the buildings are going to open, construction quests will become available, and so on and so forth. You can see the different phases. For example, I started in the Frost faction in the top right corner, and the first thing that happens is that you have only a few buildings available and you need to capture those buildings. They are going to give you bonuses and stuff to do, and they allow you to earn contribution points. You can see them right here. The contribution points that you're getting are accumulated, and when you reach a certain milestone you can claim some rewards. Also, as more buildings open, you can start fighting with other factions. How that works is basically your management can declare an attack against an enemy building, which is gonna take 10 hours until you can actually attack. So it's gonna be a 10 hours waiting period after declaration. As you can see here, there are timers on the buildings, and when the time is up, the building will start being engulfed in flames, as you can see right here in this way, and you can start sending marches, and then your marches against the opposing factions marches, they will fight one-on-one. Whoever is sitting more in the building is going to be getting more points. When you fill the bar, the buildings become captured. There is of course attacks in which the building will be opened for up to 1 hour. If the attackers manage to kill the defenders and occupy the building for a long time enough to fill the 1 million points bar, then they capture the building and that's it. Then in the purpose of defense, the defender needs to sit there for like 1 hour and try to fend off the attacker and not allow them to win. That's how the fighting works. Now of course this is fighting against players. When it comes to fighting against NPC buildings like those that are still white, when you declare, it takes just 10 minutes to start attacking, and there are like very few troops, like 40 marches of NPC troops that you can kill easily. One of your big guys can do it. Don't do it yourself if you're not a mega whale with reinforcement skill. You just go into the buildings and that's it. When you participate in a battle between an NPC building or in a player building, then you're gonna get 100 points of contribution once. So just send one march. Unless you are pushing, then you can of course send more marches to fight and get elimination points. So this is the other way to earn points, the eliminations, where you can get up to 10 million points and you get some nice rewards, including the Deep Beyond the Wall photos and of course Darius, so that's also very good. That's basically how the fighting works. Then about positions, there are different ways that you can earn the contribution, and there are 3 different military positions that you can choose. The first one is the offensive position, which increases your stats when you're attacking, but reducing your trading efficiency. That one has also a talent tree where you can distribute the points, the glory points, which are basically your contribution points. However, they are limited limited to like 400 or 600 per day. Contribution gets converted into glory points, but up to 400 or 600 a day. 400 if you don't have the honor token, or if you have it, 600. Then the second position is the defensive, which is increasing your stats when you defend. It has the highest resilience. The resilience is basically a stat which reduces the longer you have to march. And then if you have 100 resilience, basically you have 100% of your stats. You can see it right here. If I march to this building from 160, I'm going to be 115. So I'm going to have a little over 100% of my stats. But if I march very far away here, you're going to see that my resilience is going to be 97, so my stats are going to be at 97%. You should always be careful with the resilience. If you go very far away, your stats will be lower, and also the resilience drops whenever you're fighting and winning, and they'll wound your troops. You need the reinforcement skill because they are going to kill the extra added troops and not your own, so that way you don't lose resilience when you fight. So that is how the bigger guys can kill 100 people with one march. Then the third position, of course, would be the logistic, and the most amount of people, as you can see, 1,500 people are in logistic at the moment, and basically they have increased trading efficiency by 30%. The way you get the contribution would not be only through fighting and capturing buildings, but also through trading, construction, and of course transport. Transport is not something you should do with your main account. You leave it for your alt account and other people's alt accounts. When you do the transports, you transport the resources that you obtain from trading, the armament supplies, and you send them to fortresses, and then your whales can actually launch not from your initial building but from the fortress, and they are going to use some of the resources there, so their march can start from there. You do not launch for the fortress, you leave only your biggest guys appointed by your management to do that, only the whales, not you. Then the other way, as I mentioned, would be constructions. So when you go in here, you have your marching bugle, so each action that you do will consume one bugle. So one way to use your bugles would be fighting, also, as I said, trading, also transport, and construction. You can see here you have some construction quests for which building, what the quest does, and if you complete it, it's gonna take like 5 minutes, and then it's gonna give some bonus to the building. Usually we upgrade the trading shops where we do the trading, and we also upgrade the military ones, the military buildings, because they are going to give us a war horn. A war horn is required for you to declare an attack, and also a marching bugle, which is required for you to do one action. And of course, let's mention trading. What you do in the trading is basically you go in one of the merchants, you choose trade, and you're gonna sit there for about 8 hours, and you're gonna get armament supplies depending on how big is the shop. You have a small, medium, and large merchant. So you can see the bigger the shop, the more basic efficiency you get per hour, and the more estimated armament supplies you're going to get. And then for each 4,000 supplies that you get at the end, you get 1 point. So in this case, I would get about 45 points for this. You divide 180,000 by 4,000, you get 45 points. That is what the positions are and what you do with those positions. In the beginning, it's good to be logistic, and then you can switch to offense or defense depending on what your faction needs for you to be attacking or defending. And lastly, let's talk about the rewards. Now, when the city progresses, you're going to have certain rewards that you get, like as you can see, you get those glory raffle tokens. That's the first thing. The glory raffle tokens you can use right here. You can choose between Darius wheel or dragon wheel or troop appearance wheel. I choose Darius, so that is what you can get with the glory raffle tokens. Also, as I mentioned mentioned, when you get enough contribution, you unlock these milestones, you get these rewards. You get the Blessing Stone, the Raffle tokens, the S Troop medals, Glory points, and Marching Bugles. On the eliminations, you get Darius, Marching Bugles, Glory points, Photo Shards. Then when the event is over, you are going to be receiving another 3 types of rewards. The first one is the faction influence. Basically, the more buildings your faction has, each building gives you about 200 influence. So if they have, let's say, 20 buildings, that's like 4,000 influence. And you can check here, for the first one, they are going to get some SS troop medals and some blessing stone and some resources. So you want to be as higher as possible. You want to be in a strong faction. Second reward is going to be the individual elimination, which is the most important thing, because there you get the total attack badges and of course some glory raffle tokens. I am like between 400 and 500, so I'm gonna get 120 tokens. I'm gonna get 2 total attack gray badges and some resources. And of course the biggest guys, number 1 and 2, are gonna get the blue ones, which is very nice. And of course the castle, which they can use for 30 days. And lastly, the individual contribution. As you can see, my rank is very far, so I'm in no position to fight for the top spots. However, as you can see, the rewards themselves are quite nice. You can get a lot of SS tokens and a lot of blessing stone. The best thing about this event is the troop appearance badges, the blessing stone, and of course the chance to get the Darius medals, and of course the total attack badges. That is how the event works. Let me know if you have any questions. This is it for today. Hope you enjoyed it. See you guys.